everybody, Livingston here. Today we're jumping into another fun-filled episode of the Twilight Zone. This time it's Season 3, Episode 23, The Last Rites of Jeff Myrtlebank. Came out February 23rd, 1962, and another episode I haven't seen before. But before we get started, let's jump into your comments and see what you had to say about last week's episode, A Piano in the House. Jafar says, people spoke their truth if they emotionally connected with the songs the piano played. Very true, very true. It was just kind of a weird episode to me. It just didn't land for me as an episode that I really enjoyed. I understood what was going on. I understood that it kind of got out what they were really feeling, and whatever song was playing would be what they would kind of refer to emotionally. When it came to that lullaby at the end, the main character ended up feeling like a child, very vulnerable, and he would basically, as you said, speak their truth. Slim Plum 691 says, I like this one a lot. The piano ended up serving justice to Mr. Fitzgerald, who was a complete prick to everyone around him, satisfying for me. Yeah, that was very satisfying to see that he got his comeuppance in the end. Definitely enjoyed that part of the show. And, I mean, the guy was a jerk through and through, all the way from the very beginning of the episode till the very end. And, you know, he just ends up alone at the end, which is well-deserved. From the Sidelines says, at 1322, Muriel Landers, who appears as Marge, was also a dancer despite her weight. She dressed as a ballerina in a 1961 Ernie Koufax special across the stage and fell through the floor. That was Ernie's joke. Jonathan Stein says, not particularly fond of this episode, not sure why, it just doesn't do it for me. I feel the same way, Jonathan. It was a good Twilight Zone episode, but it just felt incomplete or something. Akira Kurosawa says, I think it just brought out people's real feelings. Very true, that's exactly what it did. The Destroyer 0616 says, a very odd episode, nothing about the piano is ever explained, confusing. Well, Twilight Zone's kind of like that. It doesn't always explain what's going on in the episode. It's just a moment in time some of the time. Sometimes they do explain what's going on. But yeah, that's not something new in Twilight Zone, especially in the first couple seasons where they would leave it open like, okay, well, what happened? It kind of leaves it up to your own interpretation and how you need to kind of go through and use your own imagination to come up with your own conclusions. Because I've done that several times myself. Anyways, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Continue on this voyage to episode 156 of the Twilight Zone. Now let's dive into the episode and see what we're getting into.
The Twilight Zone.
It's a church service. Looks like it's taking place in the 1920s, possibly 1930s. Early.
He's in the box in front of the pulpit.
I thought he'd be in a coffin.
Silly fool. That's what the box is, a coffin.
It's a funeral.
Thank you, sister.
You're welcome, brother.
We are congregated here today to pay homage to our dear brother.
Myrtlebank.
He didn't always show up to Sunday school on Sunday, but we never saw him at the bootleggers on Saturday night, either. The good Lord must have had a powerful reason, but we all know that the Lord moves in mysterious ways. And today...
Uh-oh. A zombie. I'm okay, guys. Just had a long nap. This took a turn.
He's alive!
What if he's, like, talking and able to...
Time,
Whoa.
the mid-20s. Place, the Midwest. We were just witnessing a funeral. A funeral that didn't come off exactly as planned.
Who in tarnation put me in that coffin?
We thought you were dead.
Let's not give way to panic. All mistakes seems to have been made.
Seems you got a little sense left. Now, what's going on around here?
Son, we was about to bury you.
Died.
How?
Doc Bolton pronounced you dead.
Your heart stopped beating 2 days ago. I was at the bedside.
I'm breathing now.
Well, it sure wasn't beating day before yesterday. You was sick, son. Real sick. Worst case of flu I've ever come across in my whole medical career.
But I'm not gonna crawl back in that coffin just to save face with you.
There was no question about it. There was no pulse.
Well, I'm sure glad you didn't embalm me.
Thank God.
How do you feel now, son?
Alive.
I feel a little weak, but, well, I could eat the hide off a bear. I'm real hungry.
I know you ain't et for 3 days.
All right.
Ma? Pa? Surprise.
Really?
Sure hope you got a good supper on the calendar.
Think he'd be happier.
You act like I'm some sort of ghost or something.
No, son.
All right.
My own folks are scared of me.
Yeah, that would suck.
I'll bet you ain't scared of me.
A little bit.
Know the man you're gonna marry,
Oh.
Liz. And you ain't scared of me, are you?
Yeah, I believe she is. Nope, she's gonna run and hug him. Yay.
You fooled them, didn't you, Jeff?
I fooled him.
Son.
Oh, now they're okay with it.
Praise be, we ain't lost you after all, son. I know what it is.
It's a miracle.
Miracle that happened here in our county. Medical term for it, ipso suspendo animation.
What?
Very rare.
Sounds made up.
Matter of fact, there's been only 30 cases in the past 1,500 years. You just trying to cover up for your own miscalculations, Doc?
Yes.
I ain't never heard of no sickness like that. It ain't likely you would. 30 cases in 1,500 years, all them in Europe.
All of them in Europe.
Take that boy home, give him some soup.
I'm a mite weak.
Bless you, we'll get you right on home.
Just as soon as I crank up.
How about the wife-to-be? Oh, she's okay now. I was just fooling.
I'm sorry I acted so funny, Jeff.
Whatever.
It was so sudden. Sure nice to have you back.
Oh, thank you kindly.
Let's get married now. No time to waste.
Well, I guess I'll get over to that East 40 and mend that fence.
It's only been 2 weeks since you was at the brink of the grave. You oughtn't to be toiling from sun up to sundown
I
every
feel
day.
great, Ma. I never felt better in my life.
Yeah, I think something's gonna happen though. Like he's gonna be dead at the end of this.
I'm real concerned. Don't like the way he's behaved the last 2 weeks.
What do you mean?
He's different.
How so?
Not like he was at all.
Seems same to me.
Well, ever since he sprouted teeth, he's been having 3 eggs at breakfast. Goes around fiddling with things night and day. And the way he goes at that hard work.
I recollect worrying many times that he leaned just a shade towards this side of shiftlessness. And since his sickness, he's been fighting in that work just like he was a year behind. All right, Big Ears. You run down to the mailbox, wait for the mailman.
Sure hope it gets here. You've about wore that one out.
Skipping.
He ain't
M. Pittman.
Can I shoot?
Sure.
That's the director and writer of the episode, Montgomery Pittman.
I ain't afraid of frogs. It's just that they're dirty.
Not really.
How's your brother?
All right, I reckon.
How's he been acting?
Like a weirdo.
Different. It ain't none of your business. He loves me not. He loves me.
That's a big flower to do that on.
Well, as a matter of fact, I have heard a little something. You run out and play.
Why? I want to listen.
Go on now, scoot.
Eavesdropping's what I'm up for.
Hold a mouthful of black pepper for 10 minutes.
Oh, no. My grandma wasn't that bad.
Little pitchers have big ears, but those poor folks are scared to death. Why, he's been acting like a complete stranger ever since the funeral.
Kind of a lighthearted episode. The music.
Always such a good boy.
We were just discussing that Myrtlebank boy.
Yeah, what about him?
Guess you've heard how peculiar he's been acting lately.
I ain't one to pass on gossip.
Still, you gotta wonder.
Even Doc says he had that rare sickness.
Maybe I told a little white lie, Strauss.
Shoot, yes, we know you, Doc.
More than just feel that boy's pulse.
What'd you do?
Folks gave him the pin test, stabbed him with a pin.
That doesn't mean anything.
He didn't even flicker. Then I held a mirror to his lips. If there's any life left in a man at all, his breath will fog up the mirror.
Then where could he have been for them 48 hours?
In heaven? Maybe hell? Or in limbo?
How do we know the man who got up and crawled out of that coffin is really Jeff Myrtlebank?
It caused a lot of trouble.
My grandma, she used to tell me about evil spirits roaming around the world trying to find a body to take over.
Although I must confess, this throws a lot of dry kindling on a fire that's been smoldering in my brain ever since the funeral.
So what are they gonna do? I mean, if he's not causing any harm, what's the harm?
Now's the time to tell him. Right now.
I don't tell you who to see, and you leave me alone.
You know what everyone in the county is saying about him.
Well, you're just plain rotten stubborn. I bet all your kids are born with horns.
That's mean. He's coming to say hello. Hey, now.
Well, bless my soul.
Comfort.
Looky who's here.
Give her the flowers.
How's your folks?
Just fine. Except Ma. She's going to be madder than a hornet tomorrow. I robbed her pet rose vine.
Well, that's nice of you.
You oughtn't to have done that.
Oh, it's not much.
Are they dead?
They're dead, aren't they?
When did you pick them?
I picked them just before I came over here.
Why don't we have some music?
Yeah, I like that.
We just bought a new country blues last week.
Hot damn.
Don't touch me.
What the hell?
I'm sorry. Just the way them flowers died. Maybe you got poison on your hands.
I ain't got no poison on my hands, and you know it. I expect it from the others, but not from you, Comfort. I'll tell you, I'm getting sick and tired of the way everybody treats me like a... Now, you tell me, are you my girl or not?
Oh, you're getting demanding. I guess not. Alright, just see yourself out. Really don't know what the twist is going to be on this. I mean, the guy did come back to life. That's a twist in its own, but what's the actual ending?
For land's sakes, John. You're scared half to death.
What'd he do?
He didn't do nothing wrong.
I ain't liked him since we were both 3 years old. Unhand me. Jeff?
Yeah?
Now, what do you want?
I don't want you hanging around here anymore.
I'm mad right now. I ain't mad at you in particular, but it'd be a shame if you got in my way and I had to take it out on you.
You forget who I am. If I had a dime for every time I whopped you, I'd have $100.
I don't think you're going to be able to this time.
But you ain't whooped me lately. Now you get out of my way.
Make me.
Uh-oh. There we go. That was a horrible punch.
My poor little...
Get out the wagon and the team. He broke my jaw.
Oh, we'll get you right into Doc Bolton, boy.
Poor Jeff. He hasn't got anybody.
Poor Jeff.
Order, your jaw ain't broke. You wouldn't be trying to talk so much.
How long I been whooping Jeff in a bare-knuckle fight? Chase him home from school every day like it was one of my regular chores. 'Cause it weren't Jeff Myrtlebank I was fighting. He had ring training. That man is dangerous enough to kill with his bare hands.
We seem to be living with something evil in our midst, and we got to put a stop to it.
What makes him evil?
And I, for one, can't see any reason for putting it off any longer.
If you're talking now, let me have another look in there.
What's she going to do, warn him? Oh, look, it's my fiance.
I rode out to warn you. There's a group of men coming out from town. They're going to ask you to move out of the country. Well, I'm a fickle woman, Jeff. I'm the kind who believes whatever is said by them I'm with. And sometimes I ain't strong enough to turn a deaf ear to them. In my heart, I reckon I love you.
I got a great love for you, Comfort, and I want you to marry me. I reckon you better give me your answer right now.
Yes or no?
We're here as a committee to speak for the community. We done come to the conclusion that Jeff Myrtlebank is dead.
What's that?
We figure you stole Jeff's body, so we're asking you to move out.
What do you say, Jeff?
Well, I think that depends on Miss Comfort Gatewood.
Well, she does. I'll marry you.
I reckon I'm with you no matter where we have to go.
All right.
You stand behind me, then. My wife-to-be and me, now, we was born and raised in this county, and we don't aim to raise our kids anyplace else. We're gonna stay. If you're wrong about me, then you ain't got nothing to worry about, because that means I'm just a poor old country boy. But on the other hand, if you're right about me, then you better start treating me pretty nice, because you just don't know all the kind of trouble I can cause you.
Oh.
I might wave my right hand and bring a whole grove of locusts down on your... Then I might snap my fingers.
Ooh.
And then some morning, if I get up and I feel exceptionally ornery, I might have the hawks come down and steal your chickens.
Use it to your advantage. That's the way to do it.
We sure ain't wanting to hurt her none.
When you fixing on marrying her, Jeff?
Right away, I reckon.
Gents, they got a lot of talking to do.
You're just like, okay, we won't push it.
You couldn't really do all that, could you?
Of course not. Find that when something comes up, you gotta cope with it.
How'd you do that?
Magic.
Light that match. Just lit.
First thing you've got to learn is not to imagine things.
Jeff and Comfort are still alive today, and their only son is a United States Senator. He's noted as an uncommonly shrewd politician, and some believe he must have gotten his education in the Twilight Zone.
Interesting. Talk about an interesting episode, making you wonder what exactly did come back. What took over his body? Was it Jeff, or was it something else, or maybe something in between, or was it a little bit of both? Not exactly sure, but when you have the mash light there at the end, it turns out that maybe he's the devil. That's fire and brimstone, and he ended up making the Antichrist, and that politician is going on to be president of the United States and lead us all to the Book of Revelation, so that's not good. Well, yeah, interesting episode for sure. I liked it better than last week's episode, and curious to see where the rest of this season is going to go. We are always getting something different every episode, and I enjoyed this one. It made you wonder, made you think what exactly was going on, and the power just went out. So, and since that happened, I don't have the trivia. So it happened right here at the end of the episode. But anyways, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Continue on this voyage to episode 156 of the Twilight Zone. Until next time, see you later.